Meanwhile, Director General in charge of Public Affairs with the Ghana Police Service, ACP David Oklu, in an interview says they're willing to meet with the livestock dealers to find an amicable solution to the concern. Well, since we're talking corruption, I've been joined in the studio by Executive Director of Penplusbytes, Kwame Ahiabenu. We'll hear from the police in the meantime, but in the meantime, let's engage Penplusbytes on what they make of the. Yesterday, we had we saw what happened, the launch of the Anti-Corruption Week. We heard from the Shraj, we heard from Senior Minister, and it's been trending actually what they said. What's your general overview of what's happening in terms of corruption? Are we winning? Are we losing? Is the president helping?
Okay, thanks very much for this question. Corruption for us has been with us for a long time. And unfortunately, it's not something that we are going to eliminate completely tomorrow. However, we have to work towards it. Now, what we are aiming to do this time is that we want to focus on humanizing corruption. Because for a lot of people, when they say corruption, they cannot feel it, they cannot touch it. For example, if I mention to you that $10 million is in your pocket this afternoon, it's so unreal, but that's what corruption is. People are taking a lot of money, and it means for a lot of citizens what we call rape. There was this case that Lebanese raped the house help. They went to the police, and the police brought the lady back and what? Asked her to pack her belonging, and she got a month's pay. This is the police literally raping this girl again. And that's corruption, because an officer took money instead of protecting the girl, they rather send her away. So for us, for corruption, we have to personalize it, humanize it. It means that if they are now a pregnant woman, go to the hospital, they may not be able to have the resources to deliver successfully because resources have been taken and pocketed by somebody. So
what's the Penplusbytes definition of corruption, as you're saying, that you think that we should change the definition of corruption? What is it, and really, what will it change?
What it will change is that people will now realize that corruption impacts them on a day-to-day basis. For a long time, it's like an abstract concept. A lot of advocates are fighting, some CSOs, but we want to democratize the fight. So every Ghanaian, everybody can contribute to the fight.
This week has been an important one, of course, the Anti-Corruption Week. What are we to expect?
The key message we want to pass is that we need to fight corruption. It's not a journey that we can start today and tomorrow it can end. In this direction, this week, which will end on Saturday, is going to be the World Anti-Corruption Day. We have a series of activities. We have a series of programs that is aimed at highlighting the issue. As you mentioned, yesterday, it was formally launched. And every day of this week, we're going to have a lot of activities and programs. One of the things we did ahead of this week was that we did a poll where we had a lot of citizens. And the basic question is that, do you think the current government is doing something about corruption?
What was the outcome?
And the outcome showed that 55 people said nothing. And about now 30 said that not much has been done. So it means that out there, the government could be putting a lot of effort into the fight. But out there, a lot of people feel that they are not winning this war against corruption.
Is that something that we should be concerned about? Yeah,
we should be concerned. It means that the message is not getting down, or people are not realizing what is being done to fight against corruption.
What is Ghana Says No, the Ghana Says No campaign? Tell us a bit more about it.
So what we are trying to do is that we are, as I mentioned, the key message is I want to personalize it. So if I went to my grandmother in a village, he can actually define corruption for me in a manner that reflects its negative impact on her. So what we want to do is I want people to go to the website, which is Ghana Says No, and make a pledge.
Is that a website? GhanaSaysNo.com? Okay, .org. So GhanaSaysNo.org. Okay.
They can make a pledge.
Okay.
And the pledge is that they are against corruption. On top of that, we are focusing on, you and I are old, we are focusing on the future generation. I mean, the 8-year-old, 7-year-old. Yes, I know. I'm talking about the 7-year-old, 12-year-old.
We're looking at the generational gap.
Because we need to now get the message to them.
So that they can grow up with it. Because it appears that maybe your generation, which is quite different from my generation, they are so rooted. I mean, maybe it's rooted, so they can't really see the negativity that comes with corruption.
And the statistics show that people above maybe 20 university there's no...
they become numb to it, I guess. Okay, so you're targeting teenagers.
We have to, and we are using social media, we are using videos to reach out to them. With the hope that when the message gets translated to them, they can be able to do something about it.
What are the big plans beyond Anti-Corruption Week, finally?
We have a big program on Saturday, where we hope that the Vice President is going to be there. The UN General Secretary speech on anti-corruption is going to be read. And we hope we'll climax this whole week at TVT. And I want to go home with the fact that people who have heard about corruption, they should be worried about it. They should be
take an action
about it and
do something about it. It's a pretty simple message, and I think that the issue of corruption has been beaten over and over again, but we still come back and deal with it. It is still sitting with us as a society. So it's very simple. Go to GhanaSaysNo.org. GhanaSaysNo.org and take a pledge or make a pledge there yourself. Now, what the Penplusbytes is seeking to do is to personalize corruption, make it so personal that you get angry and then you want to do something. So it sounds absolutely fantastic. You have any final words? The
final word is that every Ghanaian living everywhere, we have to contribute to the fight. In your small way, even awareness of the issue is very important. Ensure that we can mobilize, organize, and fight the corruption in our small way becomes very important.
All right. Thank you very much for coming. Kwame Ahiabano is Executive Director of Penplusbytes, and they have launched or helped launch the Anti-Corruption Week, which is ending this Saturday. But they're asking you to go to GhanaSaysNo.org, make a pledge. Let's all fight against corruption. We can hear now from ACP Eklu, who's saying that the police is investigating the matter in terms of the accusation being meted against the accusations being made by the Livestock Dealers Association that their men are extorting monies from them.
We have taken that issue very seriously. It was discussed yesterday at the management board, and I've been tasked to get in touch with them so that we can have a meeting. We can have a better understanding of the situation and see how this can be stopped. There are rules and regulations governing the transportation of livestock from one place to another. And I know that the Ministry of Agriculture and then the Veterinary Service also has a role to play. There are certain documents they're supposed to carry. And I don't see how the police can unduly delay them if they are carrying the right documents. So we need to understand exactly what the situation is, where exactly these issues come up, where they face challenges with the police, so that we can streamline some of these things and correct them, because it's not good for their business. It is also not good for our operations.
All right.
And we don't want,
Okay, ACP, but even if these transporters aren't carrying the necessary documents that they need to move livestock, does it deserve, or do they deserve to be delayed, or do they deserve to get monies taken from them?
No, of course. That is why I'm saying that we are concerned about it, and we need to sit down with them and find out exactly what the situation is. Because our duty is to facilitate movements of goods and persons across the country and even to neighboring countries. So we should not be the cause for delay. We should not be the cause for destroying somebody's business or causing loss to somebody's business. So that's why we are concerned, and we have to get in touch with this. I hope that after this interview, I got his number yesterday from the news editor. I'm going to call him today, and then we can arrange a meeting either this week or early next week, so that we can see how this issue can be resolved.
All right,
we are not happy about this, and we'll certainly do something about it.
And they're also accusing the IGP of not paying attention to their petition. What would your response to that be?
I don't know whether they have sent or they have sent any earlier petition, but yesterday when I heard it, I briefed the IGP, and he was much concerned, and he actually called for this meeting, and we will certainly have to meet them this week or early next week.
So what's likely to happen to these police officers who have been accused not only of extortion but also abuse?
Of course, these are acts of corruption, and we don't condone it. So when we meet and we get evidence, you can be sure that necessary action will be taken.
Necessary action like what they...
Disciplinary action, of course. And if it's, yes, disciplinary action, and if it is proof that they have extorted, that's the crime. So, of course, certain the necessary criminal actions
ACP Eklu speaking with my colleague Benis Abu Beidu there. Well, away from that and corruption, it's been a good year for a lot of my colleagues here at Joy News in terms of awards. Here's the latest. Justice Beidu just won the Thomson Reuters Food Sustainability Award at the 8th International Forum on Food and Nutrition in Milan. Justice has been speaking to us since morning. Hopefully we'll be able to raise him back on the line to, have a conversation with him about how it's going after he won that award. And congratulations to Justice, congratulations to Team Multimedia, and of course to Ghana, because this is obviously an international award. You're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty Ando up here. I'm going to take a very quick break. When I return, we'll bring you my conversation with Deputy General Secretary of Opposition NDC.